Hello, welcome to the Sports of... I am Gary Al Smith, and today we do boxing. In the wake of the death of Muhammad Ali, attention has focused again on the sport. And here in Ghana, after hearing all the tributes, we hope that there will be more that will be done to increase the visibility of the sport. Today, we heard that Richard Comey, one of the most promising fighters in Ghana, is to fight for the vacant world title, and he will be doing it in Ghana. That's good news, surely, for those who want to see big matchups in Ghana. Nathaniel Ato is in studio with me to give us analysis and what this means as well for himself and for the larger boxing fraternity. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Right, so Richard Comey, he's been a promising boxer. He didn't start in boxing, however.
He started in kickboxing, and at the point where he realized that, look, this is not for me anymore, I want to switch into boxing. He met with Carl Loko, who has now become his longtime trainer, with whom he has a lot of telepathy, and he started off the journey. So 26 bouts down, it's a clean sheet, and he's good to go. 26-0 it is. Everybody seems to be looking forward to the 50-0 of Floyd Mayweather. However, for Richard Comey, that will be a step in the right direction if he is to fight, and especially in Ghana. I recall that a few months ago, a lot of the analysis and the talk was about the fact that he was always going abroad to fight. Sure, and there is always something that you gain in terms of the experience and in terms of knowing the world of boxing and you know, stamping your feet in there and becoming used to it, because there are so many different things that happen, from the machinations in the background to how things are done, you know, because obviously it's a more developed system over there and things are done in a slightly different way from how things are done here. It's not to cast any dirt on what we do here, but of course, that is the standard and that's where we all aspire to be. And of course, it's been a great learning experience for the boxer. He's been able to train with varied talent in the gyms where he's trained at, including Mayweather's gym. And so that experience is there, and there's still a lot more to gain in terms of the experience. Now, as the situation has it, the IBF champion who would have, you know, defended this title against him would have done his third mandatory defense. And Francis Bartholomew thinks that, no, I don't want to face this guy because this guy is too dangerous. He may just cause me some trouble with my clean record of 25 bouts and 0. So he vacated the title. He willingly vacated the title, and now the title is vacant and ready for, you know,
Richard Comey.
Richard Comey, who's the third contender on the IBF rankings to fight against Robert Weather Jr., who is also an undefeated boxer. So, you know, there's a lot of
undefeated guys around.
A lot of undefeated guys around who now have to do a lot to guard their respective, their respective clean sheets, because it's not easy. I mean, you have the likes of Joshua Clottey, who for a very long time, after about 19 to 20 bouts, was still very clean, and then that day of misfortune comes. And of course, he has a mate in Frederick Lawson, who had an unfortunate incident of breaking his jaw in his last bout, and which also gave him that little blot in his otherwise clean sheet. But going away from the clean sheets, I think is a great opportunity. When I listen to Richard Comey, I see in him not only the hunger, but the humility and the required focus to get there, just like we're all looking forward to. He has a good trainer, a trainer who's also availed himself to learning, because you see, in this sport, things are changing, and you also need to change. Your skin also needs to adapt to the changes.
You need to flow with the times.
Exactly. And you want to refer to great relationships like Nazim Richardson and the executioner Bernard Hopkins. You want to refer to a relationship like that of Cus D'Amato and Mike Tyson, where there was that closeness. You want to refer to our own Ike Bazooka
Angelo Dundee,
of course,
Muhammad Ali,
of course,
Ikwate
and Oko Dampton. You know, there is that relationship where it gets to a certain point, they become so used to each other. Once they are in the gym and they're training, they start hearing the voices ringing in their ears, and they know that they need to take a step backwards, or they need to do a 2 or 3 punch combination in the ring. So it's a good relationship. I hope that they're able to make the best of it. Remember that Robert Weather Jr. is not coming in there to joke. He's an American. He'd probably maybe standing in front of his people, or maybe standing here. That's the other discussion that's going on. And Sauerland Promotions, together with his management, Streetwise Management, led by Michael Amobediako, a very business-minded person who knows his way around the world of boxing. They are looking forward to getting this bout here in Ghana, and it surely is going to be a very big thing. That
was my next question. What benefit is it for him to be fighting in Ghana? Because when he travels abroad, I mean, he usually gets sponsorships and things like that. What benefit is going to be for him?
The good thing is that now we've got television. One of the key components of putting together a bout like that is you need the cable network that could get the worldwide reach, so that whoever is pumping in their millions of dollars can rake in the revenue very easily through a properly networked system. Now, we have a partner in DSTV over here at Joy Sports. We have a big partner in DSTV whom we collaborate with to beam these fights live. We also here at Joy Sports have done that. We've got the capability of doing all of that. Our signal is on the West Coast and all of that. So it depends on what the promoters are looking for. So what's going to happen between now and July 6th, which is the deadline for the IBF, is that Streetwise Management together with Sauerland Promotions are going to collaborate, negotiate on Richard Come's behalf, and see if they can make a very strong case for bringing the bout here. Because we've got the factors. I mean, we've got the main thing is television. As for the sponsors, I mean, when we get there, we'll cross the bridge. Because, I mean, look, the telcos are there. They're making some very good profits, and they should be able to splash in, some very good money for something like this to be put together. So all of that put together, I mean, the opportunity is there. We're waiting to see. The Ghanaian people are looking forward to seeing it. It's been a while now since we saw a major world title bout. So there is everything to go for in this bout.
And that's Richard Come to the right.
Of course. And that's his manager, Michael Amobediako, with the hat. And then his longtime trainer, Lawrence Loco, whom we all refer to as Nikal. And the good thing about Lawrence Loco is that he's been a very, very active, member of the coaching body here in Ghana, and he's learned a lot. He's gone around, gone to Europe, gone to the Americas, and he keeps growing himself. I just hope that it becomes key and it becomes it comes in handy in the final delivery in the ring on that specific date.
That's the most important
in September, in early September, when the bout will be staged. Because look, at that time, you need everything to be working. The corner has to be working. They don't have to blink. And you, the boxer, also need your focus 100%. I know that these things all sound ambitious when we're talking about them here in the studio, but those are the factors that you need to be able to get there and bring world title glory. I trust that this young man can do it. I mean, you listen to him and he has the depth, and he seems to have the focus. Once he keeps it, he can get there.
Now, the other thing about this initiative is that potentially it can be the first very high-profile, global, in terms of reach, fights that we've had here. The criticism, and I should say it's fair, that some of our boxers have had, and I'm talking about Game Boy and others, even Agbeko himself, bringing the Filipino guy who he was able to fight here, is that these are not, Ronald Pontias. These are not punchy guys that the world is going to pay attention to. Is this going to be the beginning of such things? Because let's not forget what happened last week at the Kempinski Hotel as well.
I'll tell you what, we would have to pay our respects to Ronald Pontilas because he did a great job when he fought against Emmanuel Tego here. Remember, he knocked Tego down. Eventually, the referee at the center of that bout got suspended because he whispered something to Tego, Roger Bano. That matter has been settled. It's been, is a thing of the past now. But what I'm saying is that over the years, we've seen an improvement on the kinds of opponents that are brought here. Yes, you may call a boxer a journeyman, but the truth of the matter is that some journeymen really push you. Okay? Pontilas was in a different class of his own, and he gave us proof of it when he fought Emmanuel Tego. I mean, Robert Weather, clearly he's up there. He's definitely going to be a big name. But you see, these guys are young. They're still infiltrating the system, The likes of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao are all retiring now. And these are the young guys who will infiltrate the system. They need some time to be able to push their names out there. So immediately, if you have a Robert Weather versus, Richard Come, it surely has to do with the internal hype and the way we're going to push this fight and sell it to the people here in Ghana for a start. And then after 2 or 3 defenses, when the name is all out there, and of course all the other contenders are also doing their best and pushing their brands out there, then they're able to get very good attractive names which can bring all sorts of sponsorships and can bring all sorts of names and faces to Ghana. Remember that we were having a conversation about sports tourism, and these are one of the things that, you know, you'd have loads of people who come in for conferences here. There's a long, week of deliberations and calculations and all of that. And you have Saturday, a big Friday or Saturday where there's a big bout, which, you'd pay to watch, and you'd have something to go and tell about Ghana. So, yes, I mean, all the other big names have tried their best. It is difficult, and one other thing that we need to know is that guys like Richard Comey, guys like Joseph Agbeko, guys like Joshua Clottey, Ike Bazooka Clottey have a peculiar problem. That is a common denominator. All the credible boxers always run away from them.
Yeah.
One of the things that many people may not know is that almighty Oscar de la Hoya, when he was about to fight Ike Clottey Jr., had to, do a little, skirmish in the background to, get injured and buy some time, about 1 month. You see, even the big names are avoiding people who they think are lethal punchers and could create problems for them. So let's not sit back and think that it's as easy as just snapping your finger and getting somebody to fight you. No. Yeah. I've already explained the situation where the IBF champion in Bartholomew decided to vacate the title willingly.
Now, but the counter argument is that these are Ghanaian boxers. They are part of a global family.
Sure.
Other boxers around the world face the same problems.
Sure.
But they get their big fights. So why don't our boxers get the big fights?
Yes, and that is where the team behind him comes in handy. Yeah. You see, boxing is about networking. Yeah. Boxing is about making a case for yourself. Remember that when Joseph Agbeko won his IBF bantamweight title in the year 2007, he was not the number 2 contender. Neither was he the number 3 contender. He was not the number 1 contender either. He was somewhere around 10 to 12. Yet he got the opportunity to fight. Why? Because he had almighty Don King behind him. You understand me? So getting the good associations, getting yourself with the people who have the conversations in the background and are able to strike deals over a glass of cognac, then you know that you're moving somewhere. And I think that this is a good start for Comey. As time, and once they grow together and they infiltrate together, they will be able to have the big conversations. So it's a good start.
Speaking of cognac, it was only last week, and we have to wrap up here. I made mention of Kempinski, but I didn't give any context. Last week at the Kempinski Hotel, there's a huge thing coming up. Now, it's called the VIP Fight Night. Sure. The VIP Fight Night is going to be something very novel in Ghana because for the first time, they are going to make it like the name suggests, a VIP Fight Night. The tickets are going to start from $2,500. Yes, that's what I said.
Yes, sure, exactly.
And it's going to be a big pilot case, but if it works,
exactly,
it's going to be a big deal.
There was a similar thing, and I happened to be the ring announcer, where Millionaire's Casino within the Golden Tulip Hotel had a similar thing where they had just about, a close-knit family of about 300 guests who, already had their big bottles on their tables.
But they paid big.
Yeah, they paid big money, So it's a concept. The dinner boxing concept has always been there, and this is something that will be good if we started from here. Once again, it is to grow the sport. Boxing, remember, is supposed to be our number 1 sport, considering what we've been able to do with it internationally. So,
all right, Nathaniel, thank you very much for your time. And next time we'll have a separate conversation about if this dinner concept goes against the traditional nature of boxing, because don't forget, it is a mass sport. It is not for only a group of people, but that's for another time. I'm Gary Al Smith with The Sport. Thanks for joining us for the analysis. Follow us on social media, on Facebook at Joy Sports, and also Twitter at Joy Sports GH, and on myjoyonline.com/sport.